it's not just hating for the sake of hating, and we know NASCAR fans love to do that, but this is actually legitimate. I wish nothing but the worst for this company. I hope this company eventually tanks. I hope the former CEO Dmitry Krosgrov is eventually investigated, and hopefully someday parts of the fan base will finally grow some cells and not spend a dime on this company. If it's just a kid who's begging for their parents to get him the DLC, then whatever, they get a pass. But if you're a grown-ass adult still investing money in this company after all of the come out, you deserve everything you get with that update, which is apparently a broken game.
I mean, the amount, and again, I've seen some pretty, interesting things as well, my time being on this platform. I am very thankful, for everything I do have on this platform.
This is also another case of NASCAR fans not knowing what they want. Fans flip-flop all the time, and it's one of the most annoying things about the fan base.
NASCAR fans. A bunch of NASCAR fans. They've been like this since, well, a long time ago. It is really frustrating. There's a ton of big NASCAR content creators that are calling out the fan base. Black Flags Matter, The Iceberg, ElitePrecision 29, Looney 69, and sometimes Eric Eastep. You could tell on social media that the fan base are annoying to deal with. I heard that the F1 community is bad, but I don't watch Formula 1. So, instead of Formula 1, we're just going to talk about the NASCAR fan base. The Patrick Star of NASCAR.
Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Shut up, Patrick! Shut the up!
There's some things to talk about the fan base, but I think drivers and safety takes the cake. I want to talk about the drivers. Like, for example, Chase Elliott. The dude has been completely dragged under the mud since the whole Harvick feud. Similar to when everyone started hating Truex at the end of the 2018 season, or when the communities started jumping on the Bubba Wallace hate for the Talladega mess. Here's a few reasons why the fan base should reconsider. If Chase Elliott was the golden boy, then why did NASCAR penalize over having loose lug nuts at Nashville in 2021? And there's a lot of inconsistent calls that had him screwed over by numerous wins. If Chase Elliott showed his displeasure with someone, all of a sudden he's been called a crybaby, but no one remembers when the times when Martin Truex Jr. used to go on a massive rampage when someone touched him alongside Cindric at COTA 2021. Not to mention the dude gets slandered for not being black flag at the Roval when Bob literally explained the rule. Yeah, the fan base is dumb as well. But when Kyle Busch was riding around with the damaged car without a back bumper, no one was calling him to get black flag. Even Riley Herbst. No one's screaming at him to get black flag at the same track. If it was a last lap move on Corey LaJoie, all of a sudden everyone throws a temper conundrum over that. But when Blaney won it, no one seemed to remember it. Yeah, I don't understand why people tend to hate what's popular. If the fan base is toxic, you can't just hate the drivers because the fan base is toxic. That's dumb. I know people saying that Chase Elliott's a dirty driver, that's why we hate him. I don't want to hear that. He barely drives dirty. And when he drives aggressively, how is that dirty driving? He admitted it's an accident. And don't bring it up the Code 600 wreck, because that's not the same thing. So, let's talk about what happened at Atlanta.
Because it wasn't like a 5-lap.
I swear, these people don't know what they want. They complain about NASCAR not throwing. When their favorite driver did something stupid, instead of just calling them out, they defended him. And do you know what? You know what else is stupid? Small content creators. I found some small content creators in my recommendations, and they criticize what drivers and teams they hate. For example, Ethan Trender, which, yes, I gotta say this, he is a good content creator, but he's acts like a whiny brat. How old is he? I don't know. By the looks of his voice, he's a teenager. Look, you can't hate some drivers, but acting like a brat is not a good look. That's why some fans kept calling him a crybaby. I hate some drivers like Denny Hamlin, Cody Ware, and Ty Gibbs, but I don't act like a brat. Now let's over to the final segment of this video. Video games. Stop buying video games that are a dumpster fire. And some people actually bought the 2022 NASCAR Heat 5 DLC, which has an outdated roster, by the way. Yes, I am one of those people that bought the DLC, but I wanted to just play on my PS4 and my PS5 instead of my Nintendo Switch because, well, the Switch doesn't have analog triggers. And also, NASCAR 21 Ignition is a dumpster fire right now. And you can see that I barely post any NASCAR 21 Ignition content. So that's my rant about the fan base. Now I want to hear from you guys. Is there any points that I missed about the NASCAR fan base? This is EliteFan95. Catch you next time.